Welcome back again. This is still BVI Channel 1, where we tell you undiluted truth. Let me quickly bring you up to speed with the PEPT, that is Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. As I said, someone was asking, I have not been updating. I said, Agent Chebrifanemen, I waited to the end so that we will bring you the entire summary. And in case you are still being confused by technicalities of all this jargon that is being spoken in, here is the three major areas where Tinubu don't see clearly he no get chance to remain in Aso Rock. And it is expected of the tribunal judges to do the needful. Outside the 25% that is sacrosanct in Abuja, this one explains itself.
The fate of Nigeria is in the hands of the Presidential Election Tribunal. It will decide either to uphold the Constitution or save one maniac's political ambition. The fact is that Bola Tinubu is not qualified to contest election as president. His nomination violates the Constitution and should be nullified. By the Constitution, a candidate that nominates his vice president can only replace the vice president within 14 days. Any replacement of a vice president nominee after 14 days makes the entire nomination invalid. Tinubu first nominated Alhaji Masari as vice president. Masari withdrew from the nomination on June 24, 2022. Tinubu did not replace him until July 2022. This is 21 days, 7 days more than the mandatory 14 days for replacement. This violates Section 33 of the Electoral Act, which requires that any replacement of a vice president nomination must be within 14 days. The APM has proved these facts in the tribunal against Tinubu. In the past, the courts have nullified similar nominations. The law is the same. Section 142 of the Constitution requires the tribunal to nullify Tinubu's candidacy. The tribunal should uphold the Constitution by disqualifying Tinubu as it has done before. This is not politics. It is the Constitution. To become president, contrary to the law, is to carry out a coup against the Constitution. To allow Tinubu to remain in office or to participate in a rerun election is to violate Section 1 of the Constitution. We don't want to be like Niger and Mali, where disrespect for Constitution has led to coups and civil wars. Judges should save Nigeria. No one is above the law. Even under military dictatorship, jurists like Esho and Uwais upheld the rule of law despite threats to life. They believe in the rule of law, not the rule of force or privilege. All eyes are on the judiciary. We know that Tinubu's nomination violated the Constitution. He must be disqualified and removed from office. The tribunal must defend the Constitution, like the Kenyan Supreme Court, that in the face of threat nullified the election of President Uhuru Kenyatta. As Justice Oguntade advised, justice must be done, even if the heavens fall. When justice has been done, the heavens stay in place. The tribunal should do justice, and the heavens will not fall. The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal will decide whether it will allow a person with forged certificates and criminal conviction to be the president against the Constitution. If the tribunal fails to disqualify Ahmed Tinubu, despite clear evidence of forgeries and criminal conviction, and disregards the Constitution, it destroys public integrity in Nigeria. The evidence before the tribunal is clear that a U.S. court convicted Bola Tinubu of drug offense and ordered him to forfeit a huge sum as fine. He also presented a fake certificate to INEC. The Constitution disqualifies from public office anyone convicted of a crime or who presents a fake certificate because these crimes undermine public integrity. Since 1999, a speaker, a Senate president, and a Minister of Finance have been removed from office because they presented fake certificates. None of these had criminal convictions, but presenting fake certificates was enough to remove them from office. Today, our country is overrun by criminality and forgery. The tribunal cannot continue to encourage crime. We cannot be a republic of fraud. Otherwise, we lose credit and reputation and become a criminal state where even judges themselves will be victims. The tribunal must disqualify Tinubu for certificate forgery and criminal conviction. It must heed the advice of the Supreme Court in Saleh versus Abba that the courts must actively fight certificate forgery and should never allow anyone who presented a fake certificate to contest election in any public office.
Good. The nomination, the process of which Tinubu and Shetima arrived at being candidate of APC is a huge question mark. And the tribunal judges are expected to do the info. Now, the P2B's obedient campaign organization or a Labour Party or whatever, their legal team don't summarize everything.
Of course, Labour Party couldn't have been silent on that because Labour Party is the only party that won 25% and above in Abuja. So there's no way we could have been silent on that. The only party that won 25% and above. Others came distant second and distant third. Yes. On the issue of rerun, I do not want to predict the court because we presented a lot of issues. I thought that some of you should be very much worried that the election conducted by INEC, we presented 18,088 blood results from the IREF. Then INEC now gave us CTC of results. From there, we harvested 8,123 blood results. Some were completely blank. Some others were pictures of human beings. Some others, buildings. Some others, you have results that are not polling units, like ward results, local government collection results, and so on and so forth. That is something that should worry every Nigerian.
They relied on it.
They relied
to
on
pronounce
it.
somebody.
They relied on it to declare somebody the winner of an election. How can an institution, public institution like INEC, certified blank documents and said that it certified polling unit results, certified photographs and said it certified polling unit results? I mean, they should stop taking Nigerians and Nigeria for granted. It's very unfortunate that this type of thing should be happening in the 21st century. Other countries have moved on. We are still running round and round and round and round. Round and round, trying to organize election. Yet, we are behaving as if we are still in the primitive age, and that's what it is. That's what it is. Huh?
That is a constitutional issue.
No, that is a constitutional issue. That's a constitutional issue. So we addressed it sufficiently. So it's for the court. Yeah, there are so many grounds we presented. So it's for the courts to decide. So, but what is important is that we sufficiently presented our case in a most convincing manner.
And that is it. So this is self-explanatory. I don't need to start explaining further. So what is now left is the tribunal to do the right thing. They have all presented their cases beyond every reasonable doubt that even the blind can see this one and the deaf can also hear the truth of this matter. Now it is now left for the judge, of which Nigeria and the judges are under trial. And in case you have forgotten, the fight in or coup in Niger, for the people where they go to say we want to go and stop coup in Niger, whereas they committed the same coup in Nigeria. Let me tell you, Babangida is still alive, and he got this to say. That is just the instrument, the ingredient, every ingredient needed for military takeover to happen in Nigeria. It don't done well. Oh. They don't miss a pata, and they go soon serve them. Give Tinubu. I know say they won't drag Nigeria enter that kind situation, but it is left for the tribunal judges to save their head, because my people will say, if ma to talk, here no agree here. When they come out head, bottom out, ear, and the eyes will see, hey, all of them off. So that is the situation of Nigeria and the judges in question. Now, so I just carry and bring them here. If you know what is good, help me share this video. You know why? So that all Nigerians go focus their eyes on the ball, which is on the tribunal, and not be distracted by whatever thing they are bringing to distract Nigeria, whether they are bringing BB Niger or whatever they call it, or they are bringing war in Niger to divert attention to carry Nigeria, drag Nigeria enter crisis. I beg, make una they remind them, say our eyes, they are on the ball. And that is where I am wrapping it up. Help me share this video to everyone. We say, in be Nigerian, this Nigerian country, they touch for body. Bye-bye for now.